to another episode of How It Be with DannyG. Today we're going to talk a little bit about a subject that I know a little bit about, and that's going to be chemical drain cleaners, especially for use in kitchen drain lines. Forget about the bathroom sinks and tubs and everything. Let's just focus on the kitchen drain lines, which would be grease clogs mainly. That is going to be something that I don't believe chemicals are good for. So I've never been a fan of using chemicals for drain cleaning. Some people will probably say chemicals aren't good in any drains, and I think I could stand behind that. So obviously it's not just the drain, it's the whole pipe leading from the drain. That's what usually gets clogged up. I had a plumber friend out in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. His name is Caleb Wood. You may have seen him. He's on Plumbing Hacks. Dude's an all-star, especially when it comes to Navion installations and water softeners. Dude is awesome. So he tells me, he says, here's what I use, because let me tell you, he doesn't do drains. He'll tell you he doesn't do drains. Dude just doesn't like doing drains. All right, so that's his thing. I guess they always say stay in your lane, so he stays out of that one. Anyhow, he says that what he uses is a product called Glug. So he swears by it. Says that every time he's used it, it works. He tells me how quick it works. It works great. So I went ahead and I gave that a shot, and it did not work at all. It was a kitchen drain line, did not work at all, and tried, poured more, ended up pouring the whole stinking quart or what, a 20-ounce container in there, and it never touched it at all. Followed all the instructions. So then I proceeded to get rid of all the water. Still had a little bit of water around, and kind of got some minor chemical burns on my forearm and whatnot. So I blame Caleb for all that. Kind of still mad at him actually, but stay focused. Kitchen drains. So then I went ahead and I ended up jetting that one. I brought my jetter because that's really my go-to for kitchen drain lines, man. You don't know how much line is just packed with white cake grease, and I'm just not a huge fan of the small rotting systems. I've got a couple different options, and I can open them up, but I really feel that jetting is the way to go. So then I'm on another job, and a couple days ago, and on this job, another kitchen sink. Of course, this one here was one where I had installed. I wouldn't say it's a flip house. This customer buys a house that may have been vacant for a while, probably in foreclosure or something. They fix it up. I always go in. I do all the plumbing, and it's great customer. They don't beat me up on price. I'm fair to them, but whatever I say needs to happen, they allow me to do. So, and because they're renting them out, they're not looking to really skimp on things too much, because they don't want callbacks and whatnot. So this place was one of those. So put in, they have new countertops in there. So I go ahead and I put a new sink in. I do all the piping underneath, garbage disposal, hook up the new dishwasher, get it all ready to go, new faucet, I turn it on, and lo and behold, kitchen drain line is just jacked. It ain't going nowhere. So enter product number 2. Yeah, let's give this one a shot, because the day I bought the Glug from my supply house, the supply house says, man, there's another plumber that swears by this stuff. Now this one's a liquid, and he says this stuff is really good. So hey, why not, So I had thrown it on the truck, just one bottle, and so it was on my truck. I thought, let me give this stuff a shot. So I pour it in, and it got crazy. It started bubbling. There was 1 inch of water roughly in both sides of the sink. I poured it into the strainer on the left, and very quickly it pushed that water up into the sink compartment on the right, where the garbage disposal was mounted. And so that kind of had me a little bit baffled as to why that happened. The water didn't go down. I mean, that blockage was blocked bad. All right. I mean, like a dude that's ate a brick of cheese, it was blocked up. All right. So that wasn't happening. But it did go out of the left bowl and came up into the right without me touching anything. It just, it was just kind of a bizarre thing. Water seeks its own level. So, and it never did come back up in there, So, it is what it is. I couldn't figure that out, didn't need to, but I did reach down and grab a hold of the tubular, plastic tubular piping down below that I just installed. And keep in mind, the little bit of water that was in the sink was cold, or just, room temperature. It was not hot at all. But when I grabbed that pipe was straight up hot.
Drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot.
All right. So, I mean, hot to a point where I had to go out and fill my curiosity here. I got my heat gun, or my temperature gun, and my thermal gun or camera, both Milwaukee, Team Red. And so I went ahead and took some pictures, and also checked for different spots on there to see the exact temperatures. And the temperatures varied on the piping, but at one point, right there at the P-trap, it was 180 degrees. I'm like, dang, that's hot. 180 degrees. Wow, that's pretty violent. And the whole time it was bubbling up out of the garbage disposal. I mean, it was pretty active. Never touched the clog. Never touched it. I ended up leaving it for an hour. It says 15 minutes. Dissolves clogs in 15 minutes. So I think it also says, "Or your money back" somewhere. So I'm gonna see if I get my money back, because that stuff did not work. All right. So nevertheless, there's two chemicals right there. Didn't work. So that one I did not have my jetter on, because I wasn't prepared to. I didn't go there with the purpose of a kitchen drain line. So I went ahead and got the K50, and I rotted it, and took some extra time with it and got it all. It was a son of a gun, but I got it, and I think I got it good and flowing very well. That's what I'll put. It's flowing very well. So who knows what the inside of that pipe looks like. I don't have a small enough camera for that. But nevertheless, so that was two recent ones that were very unsuccessful. See, Saturday I went to another call for a kitchen drain that was backed up. Totally different place. And I had given them quotes over the phone and on jetting or rotting, and explained the differences to them, kind of a good, better, or best scenario. So they chose the rotting. And I said, okay, I'll do that. And so I did not bring my jetter, just came with the K50. But before I did, I had this other stuff on the truck. I don't have the bottle here, but anyhow, you'll see what it is in the video. Okay, I'm going to give it one more try with a different chemical. This stuff here must be so strong that they put the plastic bottle inside of a plastic bag. That's got to be some strong stuff. It says it's guaranteed to work or it's free. Can't beat that. Let's go in and check that out. Bought this up at the big box store. This did not come from a plumbing supply house. So it says it dissolves hair and grease. So let's go ahead and go in. Of course, I'm setting my rotting machine, my K50 up as well right now, but I'm gonna go ahead, since I'm here and it's a kitchen line and I'm making this How It Be with DannyG video, might as well go ahead and give a third chemical a try and see what happens. All right, wish me luck. So I went ahead and poured that in there just to give that a shot. And third chemical, what the heck. Now that was already on my truck for a while. That one I get at the big box stores. All right. It's in a black bottle, comes in a plastic bag inside of or a black bottle that is inside of a plastic bag. Which must mean it's really, really incredibly tough, but it's not. It was nowhere near as violent as this stuff. This was some crazy stuff here. It did not get the pipes very hot, not even hot enough to warrant me going and getting my heat gun. Barely warmed up the pipes, and not even past the P-trap. Okay, so that product that was supposed to be really good from the store, from the big box store, was nowhere near as powerful as these ones that we can get at our supply houses. I used about a half a bottle of this. Okay. Now he told me, as I was talking to him, that he's already used half a bottle of this Max Drano. And to no effect. He said it gave no effect whatsoever. So anyhow, I'm about to pull the plug on this operation and go ahead and do the rotting. I just wanted to give a little bit more demonstration. But again, 0 for 3. That one did nothing. And so I went ahead and rotted with the K50. Opened it up really well, flowing great, better than it's ever flown for that customer. So they were very pleased. I was able to keep the cost down for them. And I went ahead and rotted with the K50. And now this drain is running as good as it's ever run. Happy customer. And we move on to the next one. Chemical free. That's how it be with DannyG. So I put it out there as a poll on the Hacks group. A couple options that were on the poll were these. Number 1, none work. It's a waste of money. There was 177 guys and gals that clicked on that one. Other, I had 15 or 18. Glug, there were 9. Clobber, looks like there was a couple for Clobber. And nobody chose Liquid Drano. Go figure. So my take is chemicals don't work for kitchen drain lines. It's not anywhere near reliable, and it just puts dangerous chemicals in there so that my equipment and my body gets to potentially get harmed with these chemicals, and that ain't cool at all. So I think that's probably the last times, unless somebody can clue me in a little bit. And I'm always willing to learn. I try to help others learn. And if you've got a trick that you're using a chemical that maybe I don't know about, maybe I'm using these chemicals wrong, and you want to help educate me, I'm always willing to learn a thing or two. But as of right now, with my findings, I think chemicals are a waste when it comes to going to a kitchen sink clog, because it's never the P-trap that's filled with grease, or very rarely. Every time I take, there's a little bit of stuff in a P-trap, but it's usually the line, and it could be 10 foot worth, it could be 40 foot worth, but I don't think these chemicals are strong enough to go through that distance of blockage. So I still believe that jetting, while it is a kind of a pain in the butt to set everything up and whatnot, especially in the wintertime, I do think that jetting is the number one best method for kitchen drain lines. I think it's going to clean the pipes on the inside the best. And then I guess next to that would be rotting. Because I think you can open it up and get rid of a lot of that grease. I don't know that it gets rid of it from edge to edge on the inside of the pipe. So that's my findings. And so let me know what you have to think about it, or what you have to say about it. If you've got some different experiences that you'd care to share, go ahead and comment here. We can open this up for discussion. But until then, if you were thinking about using chemicals, you may want to rethink that and kind of shy away from that. I think it is a waste of money, and it's probably dangerous as well. So, all right, that's all I got for now. So, thanks for watching. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing more videos as they come out, and that way you'll get notifications. Also hit the like button and pass on the word. So I'm just trying to help other plumbers, as other plumbers have helped me. So I don't mind sharing information and some tips and tricks and experiences as well. So you guys have a great day. Plumb on. And as always, thanks for watching. And that's how it be with Danny G.